God's sake. I wasn't kidding. Someone do it.
All right, Dan needs a few minutes to decompress. And, so we're coming to you live, just moments after the Seahawks lost to the Rams 21-19. In typical Seahawk fashion.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we were talking earlier before we came live that this is the Seahawks do this more than any other team I can think of. And so it was if you're not, take your Seahawk hat off for a minute.
Yeah.
It was an entertaining game. And
Adam, right there,
Adam,
in your lap, spoon-fed, like on a silver platter. You had him. Had him right there.
Well, and
He's-
here's
Hey, anyway,
and here's the thing.
keep going.
bring it.
So here's the thing, and I'm coming to you live from the capital region of Albany, New York. Dan,
Okay. And
Dan, once he collects himself, he's
We're not
coming to you
sure.
live.
Yeah, we're not sure where Dan's coming from, right?
He's coming to you live from the beaches of, as he puts it, lovely Long Island. And Kevin is live from the great state of Texas. Now, I did my best Dan impersonation there, but to talk you both off the ledge, because I am normally the pessimist.
You need to step back too, Dustin.
Yeah, I do. I am normally the pessimist on this show, and Dan heard me. Spoiler, everybody, we watched the game live together for the first time ever in the history of Seahawks Sessions. It was great. And the thing is, Dan heard me in the kitchen as I was prepping a salad during halftime, and Sam opened the half with a pick, and I said, "Why did you have to turn into a pumpkin?" Of all games, why did you have to turn back into a pumpkin this game? And I was in the kitchen of my house, and Dan heard me from the kitchen. He knew I was mad. But here's the thing. Yes, Sam Darnold lost the Seahawks that game. I put that game squarely on the shoulders of Sam Darnold. However, the comfort that we as Seahawk fans can take, and I'm normally not the silver lining guy, is Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions and the Seahawks still almost won that game. What does that tell you? It tells you 2 things. One, the Seahawks defense adjusted as we thought they might. They held them without points in the second and third quarter. And we can hang with the Rams. The Rams are an offensive powerhouse. We all know this. But defensively, we can hang with the Rams. That is the one thing I'm taking away from this game. Because if you take any team almost in the NFL and their quarterback throws 4 interceptions, they're going to get blown out. That's what's going to happen. And that did not happen today. Gentlemen, I pass it to you.
Okay, so you're right, Dustin. And this is and this was one of the keys that I talked about on Friday about the Seahawks and their turnovers. And to be -4, that was the key number 3. Let's not turn the ball over.
Yeah.
And the third interception that he threw, the one you're referring to in the second half, he threw into like triple coverage.
Yeah.
Can't be doing that. you've been playing long enough, Sam Darnold, to know that's not a pass you should be throwing. And that last interception was just simply god awful.
Yeah, that jump throw.
The jump throw, that's got to be one of the worst plays I think I've ever seen with these eyes. And to still be able to come out of that with a chance to win the game. And we could talk about their just lackadaisical kind of approach, getting the ball now, which they did, but they took way too much time to do it.
Yeah.
But still, they came within an eyelash of taking that game. So I know, especially you, Dan, over there, you're still, the heart's like in the back room somewhere. And, but let's, hold our heads up because they played everyone else, especially at defense, because they were down 14 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
It was looking bad.
It was looking very bad, yeah.
It was 14-3 at the end of the first quarter. And so then you look at the end, they still only had 21. So hats off to the defense.
Yes.
Big time. And we saw some running plays. I didn't like when they were doing that, what was it, third down? And they were trying – there was no room on their offensive formation, and looked like they're trying to run a fourth and a foot or something, and that didn't work. But beyond that, the running backs, I don't know why they were. Zach Charbonnet should not be getting the ball on the 11-yard line of your own.
No.
But everything else, and JSN showed up late, and they bottled up for the most part Nakua. They certainly bottled up Matthew Stafford. So
they did the adjustments that they made, and I was saying it to Dan because you joined us with the game in progress, Kev. In the first, I said to Dan, I said, hey, this matchup of Adams on Woolen on Adams, it's not working. Devontae Adams is torching him. And I said, hopefully Mike McDonald adjusts. Dan said he would. And then we could see that in the second half, they did. And neither quarterback, by my memory, was sacked in this game, but it was evident the Rams were pressuring Sam Darnold. They were pressuring Sam Darnold. They were quickening him up when he didn't want to be quickened up. They were forcing him out of the pocket. Stafford, I don't really think the pass rush got to Matthew
back there.
Yeah.
And just it wasn't working.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because he was uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was going to say he just made a couple of bad throws, uncharacteristic for Matthew Stafford. And before the Rams fans come for us, let's get it out of the way. Credit to the Rams for, one, their corners played aggressive, and it paid off, especially on that first interception that Darnold threw. And also, Kyren Williams couldn't stop him in the first half. That's what I was concerned about. The combo of Kyren Williams and Blake Corum, who the Rams have been using more, they kind of caused problems. But like you said, Kevin, the Rams got bottled up a little bit by the defense in the second half, of course, because 14-3, it's looking like a blowout. And if you tell the Dustin that is watching that game and it's 14-3 and you tell him, oh, by the way, Sam Darnold's going to throw 4 picks, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to say, okay, what is it? 35-3? What is it? How bad does it get? So the fact that they lost that game, there's no getting around it, and it hurts. It's an interdivisional matchup. It hurts. And now the Rams have a clear lead in the division. But if you tell me, oh, they only lost at 19-21, I'm going to look at you and I'm going to say, how the heck did that happen? How did that happen?
All right. So, Dan, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm ready, lads. I've decided to join it. It's actually not a bad idea to have you two run the saddle for
a little bit.
For a little bit, honestly, and that me be producer in this delightful craptacular. So I've had 20 minutes to sit on this and think it over.
Yeah.
So I've had my time to really sit down and think. My initial reaction was Sam Darnold picked his worst day to have his worst game.
Yeah. As
a Seahawk. And I got a couple Ram fans I have in my text. They're saying, we warned you. We warned you. We warned you. And I said, I will fly my rear end over to California tomorrow morning and put you in the Hell's Gate submission hold by The Undertaker. I'm not kidding.
I know.
But
I know you're
my
not,
initial reaction was worst time to have Sam Darnold have his worst game.
Yeah.
I get it. The silver lining is how in God's green earth you throw 4 interceptions and you only lose by 2.
Yeah. That's exactly
right. And
literally how. And I will also point out and say Stafford, who's been on a tear the last few games, was shut down.
It's like the last 3 weeks or 4 or 5, whatever it is.
We was shut down. I have the stats: 15 to 28.
Yeah, it was
130.
50% of his passes, just about that.
Yeah, 15 to 28 for 130 and 2 touchdowns.
130 yards.
And by the way, the running game had 119 yards total between Nakua had 18 yards, Kyron Williams had 91, Blake Corum had 10.
Yeah.
But here's the impressive part. Puka Nakua, 7 catches, 75 yards.
Yeah.
Tyler Higbee, 1 catch, 23. Colby Parkinson, 2 for 14. Jordan Wellington, 1 for 9. Kyron Williams, 1 for 5. Devontae Adams, 1 catch.
And that goes against my first key, if you remember.
Shut him down.
The were number 1 against the number 1 receiver of the other team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shut down Nakua.
Now, I will also point out and say, I was the 3 of us did watch. Well, 2 of us watched most of the game, and Kevin joined in late, so that was awesome. We should do that more often.
Yeah, we should. Brotherly, camaraderie and all that. Plus, it's weight and gold. So,
I will also like to point out that for majority of the game, the pocket was clean, except for the pressure.
Yeah, they definitely.
It was very obvious that the Rams had a game plan.
Yes.
For Sam Darnold. Very obvious.
Okay.
And it was pressure this guy. Pressure him like a psychopath. And it worked.
It did.
Sam threw 4 picks, and 3 of them were boneheaded picks.
Rams fans, before you go crazy, okay, and talk about all the pressure and everything, those last 2 interceptions were not forced by the Rams.
Yeah, they were just bad throws.
Bad throws, period.
Yeah. Yeah, which I was very vocal at the beginning of the game. I didn't like Sam was trying to force balls into tight windows all day.
This was a majority of this game was on Sam. Actually, I'm willing to point this out and say 95% of the game was on Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Because the defense played well enough.
Defense played out of their mind.
Yeah, to keep them in the game. On the broadcast, if we could title this episode, it would be The Defense Gives Them a Shot.
Yeah, I'm Greg Olson.
Yeah.
I like to slather myself all over the Rams fans and the Niners fans. Yeah, I'm Greg Olson, even though I play for the Seahawks.
Right.
He did. But
first of all, I will point this out here. For commentators in the NFL that claim to be unbiased, your biases really does show in the most obvious of times.
Oh, come on. I mean, Chris Collinsworth, he doesn't treat
Now, here's a guy in Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Shut up.
But, man, I will tell you.
Jesus.
I will tell you, yes, this game is on Sam, but the defense is good enough to
Right.
overcome performances like that. That's what I'm taking away from this game.
Yeah.
Credit to the Rams. They won the game.
Yeah,
Sean McVay's a great coach, except I don't know what you were doing with your timeouts in the first half,
Yeah, that was
Sean
dumb.
McVay. But the Seahawks defense is becoming really, really good at shutting people down in the red zone and also the goal line stops, because that's how that game could have gotten a lot worse.
It could have been. The bright side is you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Now, the last time a Seahawk quarterback threw 4 interceptions and it was a blowout, ironically enough, it was twice against the Packers.
Yeah.
2014, the NFC title game. And then 3 years later, they were in Green Bay. Russ threw 5 picks.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And Green Bay scored like 40. And the offense on the Seahawks couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So the bright side is, okay, they threw 4 picks.
Yeah.
But the defense played like psychopaths.
They did.
And this is the key, though, because the last 2 that he threw, especially, were the Rams were set up in good field range. And they stopped them.
Yep.
And then the Seahawks had the ball at like the 11-yard line. And
yeah.
You're not going to do a whole lot when you're turning the ball over at midfield and you get the ball back on the 11. And they still persevered and almost won the game.
Listen, I will give the Rams a whole lot of credit.
Yeah.
They had a game plan and it worked.
Have to.
I'm very curious to see how bad the injury to Gray Zabel is.
Yeah,
that's a concerning thing. You know, we're sitting there.
That's concern number 1 for me right now.
Right there, and all of a sudden, no, Gray Zabel's down. You're like, oh no.
Yeah.
So that touchdown celebration didn't last very long.
Yeah.
No. The other, and I agree with you, Dan. You had said at the beginning of the game, you said, I don't like the way they're using Shaheed. I'm with you. I hope that they get him involved more as he becomes more familiar, because on commentary they were vocal about some of the end of game clock management issues were due to lining Shaheed up.
So I'm very curious. So I will cut you off and say this.
Okay.
Even with all the BS-ery on the planet going in favor of the Rams, the 4 picks, the blah, 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 the constant pressure of Sam Darnold, the Seahawks still had a chance to win the game.
Yes.
They had the ball on the inch-yard line because of a great punt.
Yes, it was a great punt, but it also took a very favorable bounce and was inches from being a touchback. And guess what? You add 20 yards to that field goal is makeable.
Different story. Now, I will also point out is like the clock management at the last worst possible time was not great. Now, I understand Coach McDonald had a plan because he trusted Jason Myers, because that man can kick it. Jason Myers can kick a ball.
Right.
He absolutely can.
He 31-yard field goal. He missed a 61-yard field goal.
He kicks them balls nicely. Anyway, so I had to. It had to lighten up the mood. But it was. You might say it was low hanging fruit.
Yes, you could say that.
Where's Ryman? Oh, here we go.
Oh, he's in the comments.
Here he is. He's in the chat. There we go. Sorry about your loss, boys. I was looking forward to seeing you all drunk on Rams fan tears.
I'm telling you, he has a grudge. He
has a grudge against the Rams. I don't know. Listen. Certain fans of certain demographics had their grudges on certain things.
Right.
Like I got questioned as an Islander fan why I don't have a grudge on John Tavares. I'm like, because it's been 7 years. You move on.
Yeah,
and it's not. He wasn't Kevin Durant. Like he had the opportunity to go home to Toronto, and get paid to go home. $11 million a year to be the captain of the Maple Leafs.
Yeah,
let's be honest here.
$11 million. Let's be
honest here. $11 million per year. Let's be honest here. If I was playing hockey and I was playing for the Flyers or like the Penguins or something like that, and I had the opportunity to go play for the Islanders for $77 million over 7 years, I'm taking that deal 90% of the time. I don't care. So perspective here.
Okay.
Yeah, Ryan, completely agree. Rams fans on social media, especially on Twitter, respect, are notorious whiners. Yeah, I know a few of them. He's not wrong.
He's brought up the point, certainly during my tenure on No Credentials Required. And of course, when he was doing it as a solo show, I heard him address this issue before. So don't come for me, Rams fans. A win is a win. You are
okay.
Credit to the Rams. Yes.
We are you.
Their defense was solid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Defense had a game plan. And until late in the game, JSN was pretty much a non-factor.
Yeah, he was shut down the whole game.
Yeah. Except for that one-handed grab. That was nice.
And that goes back to key number one. The Rams are sorry at shutting down the number one wide receiver of the other team, but they did it here.
Yeah.
They did.
Oh, boy.
They did. So, I mean, that's the thing. There were some big plays. The one thing that I would like to take away, gentlemen, I want to see if you agree with me. As wonderful as the defense played, as wonderful, because you have to give all credit to the defense. The defense is what kept them in that game. Also, the running game. The running game actually showed up for a little bit. For this
Can you guys
game.
hear me still? Can you guys hear me still?
Yes.
Perfect. This is awesome. All right, cool.
But
I'm playing producer.
Yeah. But what happened in my opinion, the Seahawks, if defensively, if you're Coach Mike McDonald and you say, okay, we've got to improve in certain areas, the one glaring area for me that I noticed that the Seahawks are a little lacking in, they don't generate enough turnovers for a defense that plays as well as they do.
That's true, and that's why they're negative. They were -4 going into this game.
Yeah.
So now they're -8 on the season.
Yeah.
The fact that they're -8 and still 7-3 is amazing. Absolutely amazing, because they turn the ball over too much. And so, key number 3.
Yeah.
So, can we clean that up, please?
Yes.
Now, I will also ask you guys a very important question as the producer here on this program. I mean, I like this idea. This is great. I can see both of you guys. You can't see me. This is awesome.
All right.
I mean, you can kind of see me because I'm sitting in my corner over here. But we talked about the bright sides, obviously, with the Rams and with the Seahawks and the defense playing out of their bleeping mind. But I mean, do you think it was also more on the fact that the offensive line just got manhandled, or Sam Darnold just had a bad game?
Sam Darnold had a bad game because even if he got pressure, he was able to maneuver on quite a few, out of the pocket. And I liked how he looked getting outside. But then especially those 2 interceptions in the second half, awful. And they weren't forced because of the Ram defense. There were 3 Ram jerseys there. You can't be doing that. And like that jump throw, I don't know where he learned that from, but that needs to go straight in the trash.
Yeah.
Doug Flutie.
Yeah, he's got to take that jump throw, rip that page out of the playbook.
That needs to go way in the trash dumpster.
Ryan,
He needs to go in the trash department.
Yeah,
trash department. Okay, you need to go and see. Go up to Sam Darnold and say, "Hey, we're here for the play. Give it up, and then make sure it gets radical. Put it in the chamber, and just zap it till it disappears completely."
Yeah, and I mean, to me, so I will agree with Kevin. I think it's Sam Darnold had a bad game. Sam Darnold had a bad game. He was pressured. The bad news here is whatever I hope that other teams in the NFL, because the Rams clearly know how to play Sam Darnold, because 2 games is a theme now.
Right.
They were his problem in Minnesota last year. They cost him a ton of money. And if he doesn't have that game against the if he doesn't have that game against the Vikings that he has last year, he might or against the Rams that he had last year, he might still be in the Vikings locker room right now because you have to hang on to Sam Darnold. I don't think they let him go if he doesn't have that game that he had against the Rams. And now he has his worst game as a Seahawk against the very same Rams and largely the same Ram defense. I can't think of a change they made. So there's something about the way the Rams scheme for him and the way they see his game that's a problem. And if other teams start studying this tape and trying to figure out what happens, then it could be bad news for Sam. I hope he's able to figure something out because we will be seeing the Rams again.
Right.
And
the key to this, though, because the Rams have a top 5 defense, as we discussed.
yeah.
You can sit there and watch film. If you're a number 28 defense,
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to do the same things that the Rams did.
Yeah. Now you got to come out and bounce back against the Titans next week. But I mean, the Rams, you got to give it credit to that Rams defense that you just talked about, Kevin, because the Seahawks were able to move the ball up and down the field in spite of Sam's interceptions, in spite of everything. They were able to move the ball, but then it was like once they got to the 20, it stopped. That's
why they had 3 field goals.
Yeah, they couldn't get into the end zone.
Right.
And, Ryan, I'll give you an A+ for the Mike Gundy reference there. They can come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40, parentheses 8. He's talking about the Rams fan. He wants all the smoke from the Rams fans here.
Okay, we'll send it away. That's fine.
I love how Ryan just has these random references in the back of his skull.
He always does. That's why I call him Encyclopedia Ritanica. I don't know if I agree with this one,
that
though.
needs to be copyrighted immediately.
Ryan Star T-shirt company.
I'll look into that after the show. But I don't know if I agree with this one, Ryan. It says you can take a QB out of the Jets, but sometimes you can't take the Jets out of our QB.
Yeah.
Okay, so question with that whole debacle here. Because there have been certain quarterbacks that have left the Jets organization that have been MVP favorites.
Okay.
Chad Pennington.
All right.
In 2008 to be most notable.
With the Dolphins, right?
He was second in MVP votes in 2008 behind Peyton Manning.
Okay.
So, silver lining with this whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the other silver lining is that it's still one game.
Right,
you really can't, dwell on it too much and say, oh, my God, it's the trend and blah, blah, blah. But, the fact of the matter is you have a bounce-back game next week in Tennessee.
Hopefully.
I think they're in Tennessee or they're hosting Tennessee.
In Tennessee.
They're in Nashville, Kevin?
Yes.
All right, got it. So there's a bright side with the whole thing and say you can have a bounce back game in Nashville against the Titans. So say what you want. Yeah, it's if you were to take the college football route and say this is a bad or good loss, this is a good loss.
Yeah.
Ryan also
as good as it can be because the Texans just played the Titans today.
Yeah, and the Titans played well.
And well is a relative term, but because the Texans have a good defense just like the Seahawks do.
Yes, they do.
Even though they were in Tennessee, the Titans scored but 13 points.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Seahawks can go in there and do the exact same thing. So
yeah, you're right, but there's also the whole perspective route we can play and say, hey, this is a good bounce back opportunity.
Ryan asks, is there a Seahawks version of Frank the Tank? If you saw the opening of the show, his name is Dan Cruz.
That's not true. I know two people personally that are Seahawk fans on Twitter that are essentially the equivalent of Frank the Tank.
No.
Evan Hill of Hawk Blocker, he's one of them. And there's also a couple radio hosts that will lose their minds. Dick Fain, I think his name is, on a KJR up in Seattle. So there you go.
While we're discussing this particular aspect of it, I don't know if you guys saw, but there were some very positive comments about our show from Friday night.
Oh wow, I didn't
Oh,
see
yeah?
that yet.
Very positive, great show, good stuff. And so, and I put a note out there saying, hey, we appreciate the nice comments. And we do.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, you know, we're doing something.
Oh yeah.
And,
No, and we're gonna keep, obviously we do this show because we love it, regardless of whether the Seahawks win or lose. I mean, when they win, it's a little easier to talk about the games, but we're here
Yeah.
after the worst loss of the season. This takes over that spot for the 49ers loss because I've been harping on that one since week 1 because I thought it was a winnable game. Surprisingly, this was also a winnable game.
There are silver linings with both of those losses.
Mm-hmm.
And all
When you
three
think
of
about
their
it.
losses have been by less than a touchdown.
Yeah.
So there's perspective in this whole thing, and you can say, "Oh, their 3 losses have all been decided by field goals,
Yes,
essentially field goals,
right.
Yeah.
which is, I think, the combined loss margin is 9 points
Yeah,
for all
'cause
3 losses.
that Tampa Bay game was by 3, right? It was like
Yeah, it was a
35-38.
last second field goal. Yeah,
Yeah.
Interception that bounced off a helmet.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Does
And
not-
this one was by 2, and then the Niners lost beginning of the year was by 4.
Yeah.
So it's a 9 point. It's a 9 point, loss margin. So really, it's like you could look at all 3 of these losses and say, like, oh, okay, so like they weren't blowouts. Still sucks if they lost,
right.
but they weren't blowouts.
Typical Seahawk fashion. These losses.
Heart attacks.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't as bad as those Lions games. Those Lions Seahawk games for the last like 3 years, those things were crazy.
But they won those 3. So
If the
Yeah.
Seahawks won this game, it would have been death by field goals.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Because the Rams defense turned into a brick wall in the red zone. Like a la Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey on the N64. The goalie would turn into a literal brick wall if you couldn't score on him.
Well done reference there, Dustin.
Oh, thank you. But I don't know. Do either of you have much more to say about this game? I know this is a short post-game show, but I mean, there really wasn't much more to say other than the defense played great. Sam Darnold, the 4 interceptions were terrible. And that's the difference because the running game finally showed up in this one. Ken Walker had some nice looking runs.
Nice runs.
Yeah. Yeah. But I got to take my hat off to you, Kevin. The tight end continues to be a problem for the Seahawks.
We actually do have an interesting comment on the TikTok page that I would like to share.
Okay.
Rams fan says, "Don't sweat it, man. Those teams are heavyweights with elite defenses. The 4 picks, the Rams should have blown out Seattle.
Yeah.
But your defense came to play, and if it wasn't for the Rams punter not dropping the sickest punt I've ever seen on the end, it likely goes the other way. The Rams will be decided in Week 18. Trust me."
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay.
And that is when the Seahawks are using the rivalry uniform. So hopefully they bring a good luck. Good luck, I think.
Now, what are some other silver linings you guys can look at in this game? Because, I'm not to play producer in this whole thing, even though I like this bet stage roll we got going on over here. I'm just sitting back here, just sit in my corner.
Yeah, you're bringing a different feel to the post game show with this here, but
bringing back the radio theme. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now I would say, and I guess I just opened the door and walked through it for myself, and then I'll let Kevin go here. But I would say that the other big silver lining. You said, Dan, on Friday's episode of Seahawks Sessions that Kobe Bryant is the team's number 1 corner, and he played like it today.
He did.
He played great.
Josh Jobe. What do I think?
Josh Jobe. Josh Jobe.
And so that's positive. We saw Josh Jobe's name.
Yeah.
And it was in a positive way. So that's something to take something away from. And Kobe Bryant laid the wood right when he needed to, because Puka Nacua ran that first play for a first down. And they tried it again, but here comes Kobe Bryant, and bam, he was down.
Yeah, he was a missile on that play.
Yeah, so
It's just
defense.
And if I, if I could bring one silver lining of the offense, there wasn't much. There was some bulky clock management. They didn't give up a sack, so credit to the offensive line for that. Even though Darnold was pressured a lot, they didn't give up a sack. But the other silver lining is Ken Walker looked good this game. The running game, it's finally getting going. And I think, and I want to see if you agree with me, Kevin. I said it last week. I said, hey, if it happens for a second game in a row, it's a correlation. But Oluwatimi at center, holes are opening up in the running game. They started to open up in the second half after Sundale went down last week, and they were open again today against a very good defense. So maybe that's the offensive silver lining you can take away from this.
Yep, you could take a big time right there, and one negative though is they at the wrong time Anthony Bradford's name got brought up.
Yeah,
at the absolute worst time because he had a holding penalty.
Yes, it was brutal because it cost a touchdown by Walker. Brutal.
And so, he needs to get it together. And everything else, though, on the offensive line, as long as Gray's able, and we don't know yet.
Yeah.
If he's okay, then we're fine.
I have a question for you guys before we close up shop.
Okay.
Evan Hill of HawkBlogger.com, the aforementioned Evan Hill of HawkBlogger, said, and I quote, "The Seahawks are the better football team, but the Rams have the better quarterback." Is that true?
No.
I don't, because I would still, taking my Seahawks hat off,
right.
I would still take the Rams offense over the Seahawks offense. And defensively, the Rams are closer to the Seahawks than I think Seahawk fans would want to admit. The Rams defense is still good. We thought they would drop off, and they didn't.
They're top 5.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a number 25 defense they went up against.
No.
And you can't say that he was the better quarterback. He only had 130 yards passing. So he didn't turn over 4 times. But, I guess you'll give him that.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was the better quarterback because he didn't turn it over.
Yeah. He was the better quarterback because he didn't
win this game as they have previous games because of Matt Stafford.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't have a 5-touchdown day today.
No.
But again, to continue to disagree with that, Dan, I mean, I love K9. He's probably one of my favorite Seahawks, but you line him up against Kyren Williams, I'm taking Kyren Williams. Williams. And you line, as much as Cooper Kupp has been a wonderful presence on the Seahawks, they've been saying that his impact has been immeasurable regarding, helping younger players along, reading schemes. Number 2 wide receiver, and I use that term loosely because it's more of a 1A. You put Cooper Kupp against Devontae Adams, I'm taking Devontae Adams. Puka Nacua and JSN, I give the slight edge to JSN, but it's as close to a wash as it can be because Puka Nacua, they can use them in a variety of ways as well. Both of them kind of got shut down relative to their normal output today. But yeah, the Rams offense is superior to the Seahawks, as much as Seahawk fans don't want to admit it.
All right. You guys got anything else for Close Up Shop?
Nope. But, we just got to regroup.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, welcome back.
I'm back in the room now.
Seahawks need to regroup. We need to regroup.
Yeah.
They just need to get ready to go to Tennessee next week.
Yeah, no kidding, right? All right, guys. With that being said, Dustin's coming to you from the Capital Region of Albany, New York, and no credits required. Kevin Wilson's coming to you from the great state of Texas and Belly Up Fantasy Live and all the Belly Up related stuff. My name is Dan Cruz. I'm coming to you from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York. And we'll see you all in this life and most certainly the next one and on Friday. With that being said, peace out, guys. Have a